Commencing upgrade. Hi guys, today we're upgrading my PC just a tiny bit though. Commence of the upgrade will be with the Corsair new series and upgrading the this part, the freezing of the CPU, the liquid freezer 360A RGB. I'll be adding in some new cooling and transferring everything to a new case. So GG easy, let's do this I guess, with a little bit of help of my Santa who has helped finance everything. The comparison. This is where the structured chaos started. I got a bowl for the screws that later on wasn't used as much. We started with taking out the PCU and unplugging all the cables because we already took off the graphics card beforehand. I was also cleaning the parts that came out because they were incredibly dusty, even though the PC was cleaned like a week ago. Second step was to take out the Kraken CPU cooling. I also remember we had some leftover Noctua fans that we wanted to put in the PC, so I quickly prepared them for later. I'm just chilling here and I finally got a chance to unscrew the cooling actually. It was a bit of a pain to get to it, but we managed. We were taking out the SSD and the hard drive. The hard drive was a bit tough to get into as it was a small space and we had to take the whole cage out just to get the hard drive out at the end. We screwed in the cage for the hard drive back into the case though. Here is where I was told exactly which screws to take out of the motherboard. Little did we know this is going to be a challenge to get out. The motherboard was really holding on to the dear life. With those small screws, it didn't want to go out. This is how the motherboard looks and the empty NZXT case from all angles. Finally took everything out. We screwed in the rest of the things that belonged to the case and cleaned up a bit and got ready for putting everything in the new one, like cleaning the table, the paste off the CPU and the cooling. And this is the new case, Corsair 3500X. I didn't want too much RGB, but still have a black and white combination, and this was perfect and at a decent price point of 120 euros on Black Friday. Here we were also checking our surgical plan and which components to do first. And we were back with the motherboard and screwing it in. We didn't put in one screw because it didn't want to screw in. So improvise, adapt, overcome. Here we were figuring out how the SSD and the hard drive will fit, as there wasn't a cage for the hard drive. So we realized this one part, everything fit onto it. We were confused about the hard drives and the SSDs, but we got the spirit, and then we moved on to unpacking the cooling and figuring out how it'll fit onto the CPU and onto the case. We were unsure on how it'll fit on the sockets and were afraid that it won't, and we almost forgot that we bought an extension so the cooling should fit. And of course we went back to check the installation and the manual to correctly install it and not ruin something. Here we were tidying up a bit and we put on the thermal paste so we could screw on the rest of the CPU safely. And of course took off the protective film and screwed everything into place. Here I was amazed how this CPU head fit onto the fan actually, because it was magnetical. I was like, oh, that's it, no more screwing in. That was fun though. Really recommend this cooling as it was easy to install and it looks so good. And here are the SSDs and hard drives. You can see how they were finally put into place. Here we installed the Noctua fans. It was very easy. Of course, we had to change the color of the rubbers on the corners to white so it would match the black and white combination of the PC I was going with. We thought we were brain farting here as the screws that we got for the fans didn't fit on the case, so we kinda just forced the holes and made them bigger. And now it fits and we could screw it in. Then we cleaned up the metal particles from drilling into the case and a bit with a small PC air blower. And now the part that we dreaded the most came, connecting everything to the PCU and the motherboard and making sure everything is correctly into the motherboard and all the cables. And I just really hate this part of the building of a PC, but here we are, we managed to do everything. I didn't record the rest of it as it was super boring, so let's see the final results of booting up. This is actually the second time we were booting up the PC. And the moment of truth, I guess. It doesn't look good, but all the colors of the rainbow. We had one error that came on for the first time we booted it, and it was an error for the CPU fan because we forgot to connect it to the motherboard. Oopsie daisies, everything worked out fine on the second boot. Like you can see now, we were amazed and I was just being happy that we are done with it. Yeah. GG. It took us about 4 hours with the troubleshooting and taking it slow and of course having fun with it. Also, please don't look at the cable management too closely. Here is some cool ass montage of the PC. And also enjoy some peeling ASMR. Thanks for staying. Bye!